You are now listening
this
to
past
the
Sunday.
Hot Take
Eagles
Hot
with
Box.
37-34 in overtime. It was a ugly. I was down in the parking lots before the game, and it was a ugly scene out there, man. Wind whipping around. The rain was kind of blowing in sideways. It started to pick up right at game time. It was nice, somewhat nice all afternoon. It was, the clouds were out, and it wasn't exactly a beautiful day, but the rain wasn't
back-to-back
falling.
rainy games. Gotta love it.
Yeah,
it wasn't raining?
Huh?
You said it wasn't raining?
No, it was, and then it just
okay, yeah.
it picked up
Back-to-back,
around 2:00. Yeah.
Yeah. Literally, 2 hours before game when I was at the Chiefs game, it was like 6 Eastern time. And I'm like, yeah, man, this tailgate's awesome. I just got a cheesesteak. Somebody's about to give me some barbecue. I'm getting beers from random people. I'm doing shots of Fireball.
Nice.
Awesome. Love it. And then it just starts pouring. I'm like, all right, this sucks.
Yeah.
This sucks. So, yeah, the game sounded it looked hype. It looked live.
Yeah,
It looked fun. I wish I was down there.
They had the Kelly Greens on. Anytime it seems like the Kelly Greens are out,
beautiful.
it's the environment just amps up a little bit. But I saw a dude jump off the top of a car through a table. I did want to see that at some point, and I did get to see it. So no complaints whatsoever there. Environment going into the game. The Bills fans are, like I said before, I kind of respect them. They reminded me of Eagles fans in some ways. They are. I mean, but there was a couple who were stirring the pot a little bit, and then they got a little concerned when he got circled by around 6 or 7 people saying, "Get the fuck out of this lot!" And the guy just started running away. I was like, "Oh shit!"
Did you see the guy javelin throw the Bills flag?
Yeah. And then he was surprised when he got fucking tossed, dude. I'm like, yeah,
he got. Hey, listen, he gave his body for something that was really good. It was probably hard to throw that fucking thing. That thing was huge.
was huge. He made it look easy though.
Yeah, shout out to that guy.
So, look, I don't know where we want to ultimately go with this, but I will say the Eagles started off this game we scored first, but then it went downhill, after that for the first half. It was, 17-7 at halftime, and then they come out after half and go, I think they went 3 and out. It was like a real quick where I was like, one of them things where you're sitting there watching the game, you're like, listen, if they come out strong here to begin the second half, we'll be fine, but if they come out and throw a dud up, we might lose this game. This is the last 2 weeks. It was just like that feeling where you're like, wow, we're going to lose this game. Like, we are not playing well enough at all right now to win this game. I don't know how they get it done, but it seems like the identity of this team has just kind of been where, we are not going to be an easy out. We are not going to quit. We are not going to give up. And they just kept fighting and fighting and fighting, man. Jalen didn't have a great beginning of the game at all. I'm pretty sure he had like 50 yards total, rushing and throwing, and that was in the third quarter. So we were not moving the ball. The offense has been a huge issue. Brian Johnson has been a huge issue throughout this entire beginning of the season. And now we're, it's not just the beginning. You should have the kinks worked out or the problem. It's not like just the beginning of the season where we have to kind of get together and figure this out. I mean, we are 2.5 months into the season, Ty, and they have yet to put it together.
Yeah, I mean, defensively, we have a good game, and then we have a game like today where Sunday, where Josh Allen just did what he wanted. Didn't really have much help on the other side. I think Gabe Davis. I'm trying to figure out what Gabe Davis did before this game. He was on a stretch of like nothing burgers. Didn't even have a target last week against the Jets. I know they won big. The week before that, 2 for 56. The week before that against Cincy, 0. And then 6 for 105 against us with a touchdown. Just the Diggs didn't really do much, but that touchdown was big. Who else? James Cook, not necessarily running the ball, but in general, had a good game. Dalton Kincaid didn't do much, but he was open. Josh Allen it was pretty much just the Josh Allen show. 81 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns, 339 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. He was only sacked once. He did throw the ball 51 times, but kind of had to. I mean, he doesn't really get much help from that team. Like I said, I like James Cook. I like Stephon Diggs. I like Dalton Kincaid, but that's really it. Khalil Shakir had a decent game. Like I said, Gabe Davis had 100 yards and a touchdown. He had like a 93 PFF grade. I think Jalen Hurts was in the 75 range. So good quarterback play all around. But on offense, I mean, we have some low grades. Quez Watkins came back. Didn't even notice he came back.
Was he out there?
He played 16 snaps. Julio Jones played 47 snaps, and I got to be honest, didn't know about that. Besides the one screen he caught for 0 yards, I didn't notice he was out there.
They love running that play, man. I do not get it.
No more screens here. All right, listen. Once in a while, like a dump off the Swift, or when we get Goddard back, sure, a screen to those guys. But we're running screens to Julio Jones. That's just like we're basically punting the ball. Zacchaeus had a huge catch, huge touchdown. That was a great play from him and Hurts.
Yeah.
Jack Stoll with a big conversion. Finally, he showed up, right? But offensively, still A.J. Brown lately, we haven't really noticed much of him, which is fine. The good thing about him and having him and Devontae, if one of them has a bad game or a bad stretch where they can't get open or whatever it may be, obviously nobody's perfect. You have the other one to rely on. I did like the red zone calls. Some of the red zone calls they made. The touchdown to Devontae Smith. I like that little pump fake. The play, the touchdown to A.J. Brown was nice, right? Fake the inside dive, the RPO, and then roll out. You pretty much have Jack Stoll there, and then Julio. A.J. slides behind the defenders who are looking at Jalen as he might run or dump off to the tight end right in front of him. Boom, wide open touchdown. So I like the red zone play calling, which never has been good this year, right? I feel like we haven't had good play calling all year in general.
QB draw.
The QB draw. Listen, Tony Romo wanted that QB draw so bad at the end of regulation. He kept calling for it. He's like, you guys got to run it. You got to run it. And then we ran it and pretty much ran ourselves out of field goal range. Yep. Good thing there is no such thing as out of field goal range with Jake Elliott in the rain.
Unreal.
Big balls, 60 yards. When he first kicked it, I couldn't tell where the fuck it was. I was like, wait, where is it? He's nasty at those, man. He kicks them low, quick, high velocity kicks, and that thing just dipped right in. What else can you say about Jake Elliott? He has won this team many of games in his history with us. He will miss a 35-yarder once in a while, but I think that more than makes up for it when he nails a 60-yarder like that. DeAndre Swift got involved a little bit. I feel like the problem with Swift in the running game, you don't have Hurts who's 100%. He did run a little bit, right? He had 14 carries, and I feel like he's been getting a 10 carries-ish almost every game. But a lot of those are the brotherly shove, the tush pushes. But there's a lot more designed runs this week. I think he is healthier than he's pretty much been since week 6.
Yeah.
Swift, 14 for 80. Also had 1 catch for 4 yards. He's not doing much in the pass game, but I feel like Swift had that 36-yard run and a couple other ones. But other than that, man, he was kind of held in check. He just had a couple, pretty decent runs. So, yeah, I don't know. The offense clutched up in the second half, but like last week against Chiefs, first half was ugly.
Yeah,
I wasn't sure what and then we come out of the second half. We get the ball in the second half, and we go 3 and out, just like we did last week. So that we ended up scoring on every single possession after that, besides one other punt. But still, like these are things that we can't keep letting happen, right? If we get behind the Niners or the Cowboys and neither of those teams slow down and we're down 35-21 in the third quarter or something like that, we're going to be kicking our asses for some of the play calling in the first quarter or the first half. So that's my issue with the offense so far.
I mean, I think we all know, like, this is not sustainable, it seems. Like, there's no way you can continually put yourself into a hole like this and constantly battle back and it work out for you and win games. This is not going to go your way at some point. So that's why we are a little concerned, I guess. I think it's reasonable for us to be a little bit concerned at how slow we've started on, some of these games. I think I worry about some of the early play calls and some of just I don't know. I guess you don't see Swift enough. I feel like early in the game, I don't think that they really come out and try to establish the run, like they have in years past. I don't know.
So weird.
Is it just me, or I don't know if you even know if the numbers back that up, but it just feels like
you'll see Gainwell in the first half more than you'll see him in the second half, and I feel like I like mixing him in, but like I don't know. It just seems like they have a script, right, and they want to abide by that script, whatever the Brian Johnson script is, and that's really it. I don't know. I mean, the first half, like you said, how many times? What do we even do? We punt, touchdown, interception, punt, fumble, and then we had the end of half. So like where Jalen needed out. So like, it's just running on second and long, screen the amount of screens in general. I do like the QB draw, but I love it. I love it in the red zone, not so much anywhere else, especially if it's second and long, third and long. And I don't know. I feel like the fluidity and the rhythm of this offense really is missing Dallas Goedert. He kind of really sets everything, puts everything in place, keeps everything in place. So I'm not sure when we're getting him back. Getting him back against Cowboys would be awesome. I don't know if that's.
He's trying to play this week. That's what I've been reading.
That would be big because we definitely need him against the team who. I don't know, man. I know people want to say, oh, they're nothing. We beat them last year, but that's different. This year is a lot different than last year for both of our teams. So I am worried about the Niners, and I am worried about, if you look at the last two teams we beat, the Chiefs and the Bills are awesome. They might both be better than San Francisco. I'm not sure about the Buffalo Bills. Definitely are not.
Yeah.
But neither of those teams have the firepower that San Fran has on offense. If Purdy's playing well, which he hasn't really had many bad games in his career. I know it's been a short sample size, but he's playing well week after week after week. Brandon Ayuk's coming to his own. Deebo Samuel's a nice gadget to have. George Kittle's always dangerous, and of course you have the Mr. Culpo, the newly engaged Christian McCaffrey. Shout out to him for that. He's always dangerous, and their O-line's good. So that's a scary team, man. And then their defense is awesome too. I guess we could get into the defense. The Eagles' defense, but I'll let you segue that way if you want.
Yeah, so before I guess we get into the 49ers, I want to close out the Bills conversation. And I mean, the Bills are, as much as we respect them and, they've had good seasons, I mean, they are 6-6. Sean McDermott's probably going to get fired after the season. At least he should. I don't know if that's the case, but it just seems like no matter how well they play and what they do, it just doesn't go there. Things just find a way to not go their way. I will say the concerning thing, at least for good portions of this game, was that Josh Allen was not being spied at all throughout this game, and on third downs he was easily able to pick up a couple of these first downs with his legs, and. I don't know what the thought process or what Sean Desai was thinking. I don't get it at all because it just seemed like it was so inevitable that he was going to he was just dropping back and waiting for the pocket to kind of create itself so he can figure out a way to get out, and he was making the first guy miss every single time. It was time. And we couldn't tackle him. I mean, obviously he is a big dude. He's not easy to tackle, and he doesn't go down easily, but it just seemed way too easy for the Bills to pick up hard first downs and to move the ball against us. I mean, you saw how many yards they had, and they were just moving it up and down the field. But again, when it mattered, the Eagles took care of business. Jalen Hurts, kind of came alive, and that throw to Zacchaeus was unreal. That play going to his left, stopping, dropping it right into where only, Zacchaeus can make a play on it was incredible. Like you said, the Devontae Smith, like Jalen Hurts is still him. There's no doubt in my mind.
He played well.
Yeah, he is still an elite player. It's the concern more is of the guy calling the plays and the spots that this team is being put in, and the fact that we were not even able to pick up any first downs in the first half. It was really concerning how much we were getting shut down. And it was just roll out, throw it out of bounds. Roll out, throw it out of bounds.
The
incomplete
first
pass.
drive, right? 3 throwaways.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's just it was concerning, but they came alive. I would just like them to come out with a little bit more urgency to begin the game and kind of establish their dominance. They're going to need to do that.
You are now listening to the Hot Take Hot Box.